Hello, YouTube community, and those of you from IG that have swapped over and joined us. Welcome to a marvelous interview. I am John with Marvelous Comics, and my co-host for the evening is Ryan, also known as Firehawk. He's my buddy on IG, and we have got a treat for you guys. So there is a great artist that you can look up and find on IG, and also here on YouTube, by the name of Clara Meath.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, guys. Good to see you. And everybody watching in the live stream. Thank you.
So, Clara, it's really been cool talking to you this past week. And I know we'll get into a little later why we're doing this and why we kind of pushed it through really quick.
Be mysterious up front.
Right. We got to be a little, we got to talk to you first.
Yeah.
So, maybe a lot of people in the community, or some people, I don't want to say a lot of people don't know who you are, but maybe some people don't know who you are. So, who is Clara Meath? What's her origin story? Why comic books?
Clara Meath is a working comic book artist who is sitting in front of this screen right now, and she's going to switch to the present tense. So I went. First of all, I have an art education, so I attended Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta. So I actually have a four-year degree in making comics. So basically, that means I have one career option and I have to make it work. Is the short version of that. But it was a great experience. I learned a lot. I got some amazing connections. It's an incredible program, and I'm very grateful I was able to do it. From there, and I had the very good fortune of getting work while I was still in school. So I was working on a comic by the time I graduated, which was really awesome. That was a huge advantage. And from there, from the connections from that book, I got connections to my next book, and so on and so forth. And I do remember them saying this all the time, that, oh, no, I blitzed. I'm good.
I think my book hit a key.
All your hardware just goes haywire. It's just a night of curses. For everyone watching at home, I almost had a tech emergency where my computer decided to update immediately before we started streaming. So, of course, those things always happen at the worst time.
It's like being stood up for a date. You know what I mean? Oh, I feel a little ill. Oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no. Oh, I guess we can't do this. Too bad. I forgot what I was even saying. Oh, that's right. They would always say at school, it really is about who you know. Let's say this is any part of entertainment. It's about who you know. It's about your connections. And at the time, I was like, there's no way that's true. It's about quality and, how good you are to work with. 100% it is who you know. So right. Connections got me where I am so far, and I'm grateful for that. And they continue to do so.
Great. So why did you choose the medium of comic books?
The long answer, the complicated personal answer, is that it's just what I'm doing in my head all the time. I have to do it. You talk to a lot of artists, and this is something we'll go into later when I talk about the other podcasts I'm involved in. People who work in comics don't even necessarily like making comics. It's just not even a choice. At a certain point, you're a certain kind of person that just has to do this. And while I like my job, I do. But outranking that is just a need to do it. This is just what I have to do. So I think that's sort of the deep psychological answer.
Because if you're not doing it, you're not getting paid.
Well, yeah, that's also true. And I believe very strongly that comics are just such a great storytelling medium, and I am just here for storycraft in whatever form it may take, and that's the form I choose.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great way to reach a very broad audience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think John likes comics that much. He just kind of displays some random stuff on his wall there.
Yeah, it's more insulation for that part of his roof.
Yeah, it's like an honor value.
But I went a long time without reading any. because it's just, I would get them in and be like, I'll get to it later. And the stack would just start to pile up of,
I have that
I need to read these.
Yeah.
And so that's actually where this show
piles.
That's where this show kind of stemmed from is, we're doing a separate thing, and everybody's like, hey, well, let's do a show where we talk about a book that just came out. And I'm like, well, that'll be good. That'll actually force me to read, to stop and read a book.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why I kind of suggested that to you. I was like, we got to do, like, we're all kind of picking these same books, because John also has a small store and does FOCs for some people.
Right.
Like, we're all picking these same books. Let's read them and talk about them. I mean, that's why let them sit around. They're here to read.
Which we will do to this one that's coming out later on after it comes out.
Mm.
And maybe we'll have you back on for that, because that would be really cool.
I'd be thrilled to do that. Again, we're still just stacking on the mystery.
That's right.
Because we don't know what's going to go on. So, but anyway.
Right.
Let's see. What do you consider your first work in comics?
So I would say my first work in comics, I would definitely trace that to my first paid work in comics, which would have been Shadow Play by Richard Rivera and published by Scout Comics. That was sort of a private venture initially before it was picked up by Scout. So he was just paying me personally to draw the book for him. And it was a really fun experience. He was a really fun writer to work with. Funny guy, like good insight. It's sort of a YA fantasy adventure. These two kids, one of them discovers they have some inherent magical powers, and they accidentally send the other one's shadow to the shadow realm, and they have to go there and retrieve it and become embroiled in local issues. A YA fantasy adventure. It was fun. It was a good time.
Okay, cool. We had some. I have some covers that you've done. Mm-hmm. So tell me about this one.
Oh, okay. That was the wraparound store exclusive variant I did. There we go.
Now, who's this? Right? Who is that? Oh my God.
Who's that weirdo writing in gold Sharpie?
Someone scribbled all over my book.
I know, right? I'll come over there and punch them. It'll be a weird time loop. So the wraparound cover for Devil's Red Bride was a store exclusive variant for Brookings Comics in Brookings, South Dakota. And Devil's Red Bride was published by Vault. And it was also the first official cover sponsored by Travis Noakes of Comics with Bueller on YouTube. So that was a really good time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he's been very supportive of me. I'm really honored by that. He's been a great guy. His show is got a lot of followers on his comic show on the YouTubes. It's been a good time. But I really enjoyed that cover. Fun story with this cover. It was not originally, they didn't ask for a wraparound, but I ended up doing a wraparound, because what happens is when you are, especially drawing a human figure, you always like overshoot the borders a little bit just to make sure the figure is right. So I had drawn out to like around where you see, like you can see where the spine is from the lettering. I had drawn past that just to make sure the hands were correct and proportional. And I just kind of kept going, and I was like, man, this is really nice. I don't want to cut it now. What if I just give them a wraparound cover for the same price and just like make a big impact? So that ended up turning out really nice. I'm really happy with that one. I think it's one of my favorites.
It's really awesome. I know a lot of the guys who are in the chat, which we'll get to you guys in a second, are going to be real appreciative of all the skull work you did all through the background there. I knew they were really going to like that one.
Well, good. I'm glad you appreciate all those skulls. Can you imagine how long it took to ink all those skulls?
It wasn't just like copy paste.
Of course, yeah. With my traditional methods, I copied and pasted.
Right. That's right. Because you don't do the computer thing. You do.
I use the computer a very small amount. I use Photoshop to transition between stages. We could talk about that later or now if you want for my process, because I have some examples of sort of like how we go between. But I'm 98% traditional.
Great. Go ahead. Show us what you do.
Well, you know what? Let's wait until we talk about The Secret, because these are pages from The Secret.
Let's do that then.
All right.
So tell me about this one.
So, okay, Midnight Vista. That was a fun one. That was my most recent. I think that was about 2 years ago. No, about 1 year. Well, it's spaced out. It was over a year ago now, with all the issues combined. That is a book by Elliott, and it involves essentially, you get a lot of alien abduction stories, but Elliott and I both like weird stuff. We like cryptids and aliens and conspiracy theories and all the weird podcasts that come along with those pursuits. But we had a mutual interest in the subject, and he wanted to do sort of an aftermath of alien abduction story. This character is taken by aliens as a child and returned as an adult, as if nothing happens, and he has to like reintegrate into society and figure out, how to conduct himself, figure out what's going on, why he was taken, what the whole history of that is. So it was almost an existential story about this guy trying to rediscover himself and why the aliens came into his life.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, that sounds like an original premise for a story.
It was a fun one.
That's the one I really want to read. That I don't know why I've been sleeping on it. I'm gonna get it.
I got mine right here.
It's on my read list.
Got my stack of references here.
I'll have to check and see if I can pick up the trade for that one still. I probably can.
Probably can.
Oh, let's see where we got.
The one you don't have, can I just show? We can talk maybe
a little bit
about.
Oh, yeah, I don't have that, so there they are.
The original. I have the original.
Yeah,
right
I was going to say, isn't that the original back there? I've had my eyes on that for a while. I'm saving up for it.
On Comic-Con art?
Yes, I'm putting away money for it because I'm going to get it before Bueller gets it.
Oh, we got a competition here. I like it. Well, either way, whoever wins, thank you. Whoever wins, I win. That was a really fun cover. That was for another one of Elliott's books called Knock 'em Dead, which deals with I didn't do the interiors on that one. That was just a variant, so I know less about it. But it deals with stand-up comedy and essentially a character who there's a supernatural element where he is a hollow, is someone without a soul. So he has to be possessed by these other spirits to perform.
Was that a book that had like 4 or 5 issues and then a different comedian on every cover?
It was just, it had like stand-ups, but it wasn't like anybody you would know.
I don't think so. That sounds cool though.
Hold on.
Because I had that one and I was like,
hold up.
Was that it? But maybe
Elliott has a background in stand-up. When I actually met him, he was doing stand-up. It was a funny story we like to tell.
Because when you started talking about it, I was like, wow, that really sounds like a book I had at one time.
It's a hot topic now, I guess. It's in the creator or the unconscious collective.
Okay, here they are. So 2. Not that it has anything to do with our interviewee, but there's 2.
It's all good. It's Elliott stuff. He's worth repping.
3.
Right. Yep.
4 is really cool. I think it's got like a bunny red skull.
I don't think I saw that one.
The Easter red skull. And 5. Believe it was only 5 issues.
That one I saw. Yeah.
Yep. Just 5.
Man, that is an angle on the skull nobody ever draws.
Yeah.
That's got to be rough.
The back cranial. Well, the funny thing is, if you look, the skull actually has a mustache.
Yeah, well, the character is a mustachioed gentleman.
That's funny.
That was one of Elliott's little moves.
Grateful Dead videos did too.
Very cool. It's one I bought. I wanted to read it, and I haven't got around to it yet, but I'm going to read it. So sorry,
I believe in you. You can read it.
All right. So you talked about having connections in the comic community to really get through. Who's your biggest connection?
Right now, definitely, and hopefully for years to come, Zach Howard. Zach Howard and I are, at this point, business partners. If you're not familiar with his work, it is absolutely phenomenal. Like this, Blue Yonder is one of his more famous books. I always get the side wrong. He's an incredible artist. He recently did the Effie Kolb, Return of Effie Kolb, Hellboy arc. He did, I have an original page of his here. This is from the sequel to The Cape.
Oh.
It's incredible stuff. But yeah, what happened was we met on Instagram, of all places, and we quickly discovered we had very similar art philosophy. We both believed very strongly in the more classical model of apprenticeship in the training of the arts, any of the arts.
Right.
And he started teaching me. He like pointed out, like, this is where you're weak and I can help you in this way. He gave me like a regimen to study with. And as time went on, we just became really good friends, and we decided like we would work together on all upcoming projects. So I help him with his stuff and he helps me with my stuff, and
Awesome.
like shared percentages and stuff. He pays me. It's a great time.
That's the best part. That's the best friend to have. The best friend is the friend that pays.
Exactly. Best of all worlds, I say.
That's
but yeah,
right.
100%. If you take nothing from this podcast, actually take a couple things from this podcast, but look up Zach's work for sure.
I will.
Right,
I've only seen him on your live stream a few times. You've had him or you do like a double live stream on IG sometimes, and
yeah,
he's like you got to try to watch his language a little bit. You're like, Zach, PG.
There's a funny story behind that. Like, that was how we got the idea for the podcast we now do. To back it up a little, he had already been deciding to launch a podcast with his friend, JC Washburn, who's an art dealer. And essentially what they do is they have guests on, Zach inks with the guest. They talk about the artists they're working on. It's a comics podcast where they, discuss the industry and the arts and their own experiences. But as they were building towards this, Zach and I would do these, Instagram live streams together. And it just got to a point where we first started joking about, like, well, we should just do this as a podcast, and then it's like, wait, why are we not doing this as a podcast? So that's how we started PG-13 with Clara and Zach, which was the name he insisted on, because the backstory of that was the first time we live streamed together. I told him, like, and he will be the first to say, he has a sailor mouth. He is a pirate man. And I told him, like, hey, literally my grandmother watches my live streams. If you could just, maybe just watch your mouth a little bit for this episode. And he came back with, like, yeah, that's hilarious, but I'll do my best. So that evolved into a podcast. And the premise of the podcast is he only gets 3 swears before he has to send a sketchbook to a patron on our Patreon.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
So far, we've been doing it for a couple months, and so far he has succeeded twice.
Succeeded twice.
He's succeeded twice. There have been 2 times he did not have to send a sketchbook.
I can understand that.
Very cool. Okay, so what is the name of your podcast, and where can people go to hear your podcast? Absolutely.
So you can go to look up the Blacklist Underground on YouTube, because it's the 2 shows. It's essentially PG-13 with Clara and Zach is like the little brother show to Blacklist Underground, which is a much more formal show with like actual guests. We just had like Dave Johnson on. Like Zach has such good connections. He's able to pull in some pretty awesome people. So there's some seriously good episodes of that. But that's the YouTube channel, and our show is on there as well. And if you're feeling generous, we also have a Patreon, also under the Blacklist Underground. And you can follow both shows on Instagram as well.
Cool.
We'll be doing that.
All right. Now, you are also on Instagram, obviously, and you are Clara_Meath.
Yes.
All right. So if you're jump over to IG, I know a lot of you guys in the chat are already on IG. So add Clara, and you can see what she's doing as she does it. She'll actually throw up live shows like Firehawk was talking about.
Oh, the best. I mean, if you guys don't have anything to do on like a Monday evening, I think for me it comes on at time is it 6?
It's 6 for me, so
6 for me, so 8.
Okay.
8 o'clock, I think. Yeah. And it's a Monday evening. It's super relaxing. She does great line work. She inks, and she kind of teaches you almost, if you're an artist or if you're not, you can still understand, and kind of goes through the process, and it's just calming to watch that ink just float. It's crazy how you can just zone out. It's really cool. And that's kind of how I basically came in contact with Clara, was watching her do the Instagram stuff. So cool.
Thank you. That was so
You're going to see some of
say.
that in a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say you're drawing for us, but we're going to show some of your work. So
there you go.
You have 2 minutes. Draw your favorite character. Go.
Go. I draw Tweety Bird or something.
Perfect. The guy that looks over the wall.
Yeah. You draw that in like 3 lines.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need.
It's like, yes, it's always been my favorite. For real.
All right. So the real reason why you're here is because you have a Kickstarter going on.
I do.
Is this your first Kickstarter?
This is actually my second Kickstarter. 2 years ago, I kickstarted a adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's poem. It's very hard to say Poe's poem. The Conqueror Worm. There we go. Yeah, I have it right here as well. That was a really fun one. That was my first Kickstarter. I was in a time when I was unemployed in comics, which is not unusual. You have fairly large work gaps, but I was early enough in my career that I was freaking out about it. So I decided to strike out on my own. And rather than take the extra unpaid time to write something, I was like, what's something in the public domain I could just adapt? And I had always loved that piece, so I just went for it. It ended up being really fun. It was a fairly small Kickstarter, so it was able to fund fairly quickly, but it funded in under 24 hours. It was a real validating experience at that point.
Great.
I will definitely be reading that one also, because that's just a cool, I mean, you kind of already know what it's going to be, but the artwork to go with the tone, I think would be, I really want to see how that adapts, how your style, which I think is kind of that, darker, more detailed, really cool. I think would go good with that poem, I guess is what it's called.
Thank you for describing it that way. That's a nice description.
So what we're really here for is to find out a little bit more about this. Okay.
Ooh. So mysterious.
Ooh,
so
chills. Yeah.
It was actually Ryan that turned me on to your Kickstarter.
Oh wow.
And when I went over and watched it, and I watched that short clip, which was great. I mean, I really liked it. I'm glad
you liked it.
Did you do that, or did you have somebody else do it?
No, I made. It was fun to make.
Yeah, I love doing video stuff. That was a lot of fun to watch, and I enjoyed every time. You did great with the sound in the background. But Mother 47, he showed me that, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick this up. This is really cool. And now it just came into what did I want to get? But before we get into that, what can you tell us about Mother 47?
Absolutely nothing.
Not a ton. I can tell you some of the basics. There's how
about when's it take place?
Okay, so this takes place during World War II. This is a historical piece. It's a historical horror mystery comic. It's going to be 50 pages long, and it involves essentially, on its face, it's about this mysterious figure, breaking in, as you saw in the trailer, and attempting to free a bunch of lab animals from the Nazi experiment. But there is a much deeper motive and a lot more reveals coming down the pipe. This one has a big old twist at the end. The clues are all there, but I think it's just wild enough that you might not get them on the first reading. I'm really hoping it
cool.
lands well.
Very cool. And
I'm super excited.
Good. Thank you.
I didn't even watch the video. I've been watching you ink the whole. I mean, that's what your Mondays are. You're inking this project basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much all I'm working on now.
Yeah, and you started with like your sketches and your like what do you call them? Character studies.
Thumbnails. Yeah, and the character studies too. Even before that. Yeah,
you had the ladies' heads and like the hairstyles and all that stuff. And it's fun to watch you start from there and then progress all the way through. So I've seen that. So it made me very excited, and I should have jumped on it faster because I missed the cover opportunity. But that's okay.
I missed the dog opportunity. That's the one I was like, oh man, I could have had a dog.
Those went right away. That tier was Zach's idea. We were trying to come up with like how to put, how to get basically cameos in it. And the tricky thing about this, because his book, he kickstarted this, and there's a number of cameo characters that are like, they paid a big old tier to appear in the book. And the problem we ran into was like, everyone in this book is a Nazi. Nobody wants
Some of us have those last names.
Right? So we were like, wait a minute. People love their pets, though. There's so many animals in this book. Let's do that. So I was very happy with that. We came up with that idea like the same moment. It was really funny.
And you still have cats left.
There may be cats left.
I'm actually on the site right now.
Random animals.
Is random animals all that's left?
I know there are plenty of random animals left. Yes.
You've got one cat left.
Oh, one cat. Somebody who's got a special cat.
3. You got
there's
3.
Really? Okay.
3 left of 4. So if you have a cat and you would like to have your cat immortalized in a book,
this
is your chance.
Knocking something off a shelf.
Yep.
And your cat might actually make it to the end of the book.
All the cats make it to the end of the book.
Oh,
no animals are harmed in this book. That's no fun.
Spoilers.
I know, right? Spoilers.
I'm gonna make a cat up just to get it in there, just like some kind of weird one-eared cat with one eye. It's gonna be
one-eared, one paw tabby.
I would love that. I mean, you do need to send me pictures of this cat so that I can accurately draw it. So you're gonna have to go out and adopt such a cat.
Old Google's coming to the rescue.
A cat with an eye patch.
And the cat's name is Firehawk. I wonder.
Quite a name for a cat.
Yeah. It's a fast cat for only having one ear, one eye.
That's how it lost its eye, from being fast.
So so we can't tell a whole lot about it. There's a mysterious guy that's breaking into a Nazi facility. You saw the squishy bomb getting placed in.
Little plastic explosive in there.
So you kind of get the sense of, all right, he's going to be destroying this facility or doing his best to.
Is he a bad guy?
You don't know. And I don't know if we'll know until the very end. After we read it 2 or 3 times.
Giddy with excitement.
But a 50-page book that's a pretty good size. A normal one's 32.
Yeah.
So let's ask some normal things. How are they going to be bound?
I had originally a plan with a printer, but I've actually been connected to a potentially better right now. Oops, right. I'll let them go off. So as of now, the plan is to do saddle stitched unless we hit one of the stretch goals for off cover.
Come on, people.
Let's do it. Let's hit
that square bound book.
Yep.
Okay, so for everybody out there, as of right now, there is 13 days to go on her Kickstarter.
Yes.
Lucky 13.
She is at 62.30. Now, when I checked earlier today, it was 61.80. So, there's 40 that's been added on. Now, there's one in here that I am interested in and will be getting because it's the exclusive Zach Howard variant cover.
I might have
It
to
is
do that one.
indeed.
Now,
myself.
what enticed me on this one is that you're only making however many of these are ordered.
I'm only making enough to fulfill the Kickstarter rewards on that.
Oh, wow.
And there'll probably be a little bit of overflow just because of,
100, maybe.
shipment sizes.
You got to order in so many.
Right, exactly.
Right.
There's package sizes, but I'm going to try to keep it as close to that actual number as possible for exclusivity.
And that's what spec hunters call low print run.
Right now, there's 15 backers for $25 for a signed by him and you, right? So $25 for the exclusive limited variant, double signed, $25.
Yeah.
Stupid
And
for
it's
not
going
getting that.
it's going to be beautiful. He only does beautiful work.
I mean,
all right, John, sign me up. You pay for it. I'll ship it.
I am. I'm going to pay for it and get mine in the mail.
Grab two, just because.
And I've already done the 40 one because I wanted the 10 books, to be able to put on my store.
Right.
So then I went back and I was like, you know what? I want that exclusive. And then when I read and I saw that, okay, it's only printed up until to these. And if you don't get it here, you're not going to get it
anywhere.
Yeah.
This is it. And and in case you all missed it, that is her cover.
That's my cover.
For Mother 47. And like I was saying before with her skull work on the Devil's Red Bride.
Legit skull.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
She
really, really enjoyed this cover.
And it's really cool. You got some action going on in the background.
Can't really the creepy
is something coming. Is that the guy coming in to the lab? Is that something trying to get out of the lab?
That's awesome.
Is it?
Yes.
What is going on? What does the cover tell us? So,
not a lot.
It does actually tell you quite a bit, but you won't know.
Won't know until you get there. Basically, everybody has rats in their head. That's what this cover tells.
I can hear it climbing around.
But it's I am liking black and white in the comic medium way better than I am. Okay, if it has really good shading, because you've got black and white, and then you've got artists that know how to shade and to really make black and white look good. Clara makes black and white look really good. It's got a great
depth. Like you can feel the depth even though there's no color, because the shading is got foreground shading. Yeah. She does a lot of like light study where it actually and light and you call this something else like
the lighting study
when it's closer. You called it something. I can't remember
atmosphere perspective.
Yeah, and it was like when it's closer, it's this thin line. As compared if it's further away, it's a little
other way around.
See, I'm not an artist. I don't know, but I'm telling you, her Instagram lives, catch it, and you'll learn all you want to learn.
Thank you.
It's so cool.
But
so much of that is the beauty of the gray tones on. I've wanted to do a gray tone book like this for so long, and I absolutely love a good gray tone comic. So I'm really excited to be able to actually finally get around to doing this.
And it's looking great just from just your little snippets you've been showing and inking on live. You can really tell it's going to be really cool, especially the like their chains. You did a big deal about your chains. Really cool, and that's just like a background thing. How much detail you're paying to these chains in the foreground, the background. And you have your the gun study you were doing.
Oh my gosh, that's
so realistic.
Guns.
Really cool.
Here's like the thing about doing because I've done a lot of fantasy and stuff where you can sort of just make everything up based on reality as we know it. But for a historical piece, you actually have to do your research. The guns have to be correct. The architecture has to be fairly accurate.
We're going to call you out.
Up. I know. Well, that happens in comics.
It happens in movies too.
There's a few history nerds in comics. So yeah, there was a large amount of research beforehand. Like I had to get like the uniforms and like what would be used for this kind of furniture and all that stuff. So it was really fun, but there's so much pre-production in a historical piece, man.
The chair you did. Oh my gosh, that chair, the button point chair or whatever you were drawing.
Oh yeah. That armchair.
With the telephone and the little the scotch or the whiskey sitting there. It was like, jeez, so
that was
cool.
really fun. Yeah.
So Campbell asked a question: will Mother 47 turn into an ongoing series? I'll let you answer that.
The short answer is no. I know ongoing series are well loved, but I'm being true to myself, my muse for this one, and I love a good short story. I love an open and shut story where it's just a vignette, like just a slice, especially for horror, honestly. Like I really love the H.P. Lovecraft model of horror, which is basically just, there's going to be a horrible thing at the end of this story. Oh, see, I told you, the end.
A series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm doing with this one. I love short fiction, and that's what I'm trying to do, is a fully encapsulated, self-contained short story.
That's so
now,
cool.
the good thing about those is when you read the story, you don't have to wait for something else.
There you go.
Over.
That's right. Instant gratification.
Or the other way. You're like, oh man.
Oh.
That's it.
Hey, then you can read it again and look for the.
If you read it backwards, it's a whole different story. So that's the secret.
I want more, and I want it now. Well, you've gone up to 6273, so we're just going to keep this pledge drive going.
Yeah, my brother said he just pledged, so that's cool. My brother's
awesome.
So, which is one of the guys you made the print or signed the print for. I gave to him.
Oh yeah,
big Star Wars fan. So
they're
that's
on
cool.
Here. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, so tell us about your tiers, the different tiers that they can do.
Oh,
well, let's see. To get them 100%, I know the tears I have already cried.
The blood, the sweat, the tears that have gone into my heart. My
comic book artists everywhere cry.
Yeah.
So let's see. Off the top of my head, you can get just the digital version. That's very cheap.
There's the tip jar.
Oh.
You can just give her money.
Yeah.
There's always that. You can just give her money.
Don't say it. Don't say
in the event that you don't want any stuff for your money, which, like, I don't know, if it happens once,
who does that, right?
Just like
right.
Make it rain.
That's kind of what a Kickstarter is. You can get just the digital version for real cheap. You can get the shout outs on the videos I do on social media twice a week, thanking all the backers. You can get, you can get character designs, you can get thumbnails, you can get the variant cover, you can get penciled pages, you can get inked pages, you can get penciled and inked spread, although I believe those are both already snatched up.
Those are gone, I believe.
Those are gone like right away, thanks to awesome people.
People aren't stupid. They know the value that you're giving.
I hope.
So,
honestly, your Kickstarter is a great deal because you get original stuff for fairly cheap. A lot of people are charging that much for the book itself.
Right.
Like $25 or $30. You're getting just the physical copy. You're giving a physical copy signed with something original, either a thumbnail, a pencil page, a character design. You know, it's a great value, honestly. So
good. I'm glad
here's you on that.
We've got pledge $5 or more, and you get the digital version and a shout out.
God, you need more than that. Keep it going. Up.
For $10 or more, you get the comic.
That's a deal.
And that is signed right across there, right? Oh yeah. That's signed. Now right now there's 38 backers for that. We need to get that up a little higher.
You definitely could. That's
there you go.
Something like that.
It's gonna look like that.
On that
maybe even
cover, though, it's gonna be beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Black cover
with
red
Sharpie or red paint Sharpie, or I mean, it looks maybe even something like that. You can get a little
I favor the silver ones myself. I may stick to silver because of the toned books, but we'll see. Maybe I'll mix it up.
Or white.
It's got to be that. It's got to be a almost like a metallic red in order to go and stand out.
You think?
Because a regular red, I think, is going to sink into the black.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Let's see. For a $20 or more pledge, you get thumbnails, which are the important part, the part where the comics are really made.
This is what it looks like. This is a sheet of thumbnails here.
I'm gonna hate getting that.
And you get that for $20?
Yeah, we've got the notes in it and everything.
With a signed comic book.
Yeah.
You get that and a comic?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean.
That is crazy. Now there's 10 left of those.
Awesome. Oh, wow. Those are going fast then.
I might get another one.
I might have to end up doing one of those if it's still around once this is over. So you've got
better not be.
10 thumbnail pages are left.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to the exclusive Zach Howard variant, which we've already talked about. There's only going to be however many here plus whatever you have to print. So if you got to print in 50, then
either
but
way,
those are always good for con signings and stuff.
Exactly.
Like
that. So
I will be adding
we'll
that.
All the blood out of those afterwards.
Now, and on that 25, you get the exclusive, and you get the A cover and the B cover.
I believe yes. You get both.
Wow.
So that's great because if you go to a store variant and get an A and a B, you're going to pay
$60.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a virgin and a trade is like
Which I don't particularly like virgin covers because sometimes I'll forget what they're called.
Yeah, what is this? What book is this?
The artwork has to be amazing.
The artwork has to be absolutely amazing, and that's all I want to see. But there's a lot of books, especially cover swipes, where I want to see the wording because the wording is what makes that book the book.
Right, exactly. It's not really a book cover in my mind if it doesn't have some kind of title on it.
Yeah, it's a piece of art or
then it's a comic book with a poster on the front.
Right.
A pinup.
I agree. I mean, there are really nice virgin covers, but they've got to be really nice art. Let's see. For 35 or more, you get a penciled page.
Here's one of those. And the
I
cool
did
thing
that
about
also.
the cool thing about my pencil pages is I leave myself lots of notes. There's lots of margin notes, and these the little highlight notes are where I do digital edits.
Look at that.
So
$35, people.
You get all the process work. Yeah, like you mentioned, at a con, these pages would be going for much more.
Oh yeah.
So this is a deal.
Yeah, those
Jump on it now, folks.
Yeah, those are what you go to a con and you're like, you want how much? I really like original art, but this is like, I want to buy something else and eat while I'm here too.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to take out another mortgage.
I think I picked the pencil pages. Then I came back and got your thumbnails, and then I was like, I got to get the character design. Or I did not the protagonist, but the secondary characters because the other one was already gone. It's like that you get like the sketch or like the what do you call it, like the pre-thought thumbnails, and you get the penciled character and the inked character. And I think that was only like
the physical stage. Yeah.
35.
Here's something that you can think of doing if you can talk to Zach about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's cool with adding it on, especially with it being blind because he hasn't done the cover yet.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always the same thing you did with your cover, where you had the penciled or the inked cover.
Oh, selling it?
Yeah.
Or putting it on a tier? I'll think about that. I'll see what he says.
Because I'm going to say you could put his on there for that variant cover, and you could put it up a lot higher.
Yeah, for sure.
Than what you did yours. Not saying that yours isn't good. I would love to have yours, but yours was really low.
Yeah. Well, it was Kickstarter level low. It went right away, so I'm not complaining.
It was Kickstarter low, but that's an awesome cover. and I would have picked it up for what you put it out there.
Oh yeah,
and he would have too. And he's really
super cheap.
He's really cheap. And he would have done it.
That's why she knows. I've talked her down. I'm like, oh, would you ship all this for me? And she's like, oh yeah, I can do a little bundle for you. I'm like, cool, that's awesome. Saves me like 10% or something. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and then you've got a pledge 70, and that is was that to get the cat? No, we've got the penciled double page.
Ooh.
Yes, those are the ones that are gone already.
Oh, those are gone already. I'm down too low. I need to get on the casting call for cats.
Yeah.
Brent?
So anybody out there that has a cat, I'm not that guy. But
come on, Brent. Get in there.
If you have a cat and you want that cat to live on forever and they don't die in this book, that is a guarantee from Clara. Yeah. She will not kill your cat in the book. It will live on forever. In print.
Got a great Mancoon he could put in there.
You can send her pictures of your cat and get your cat in the book for $70. All right, hold on. Let me put that up so everybody can see that.
Display that.
I don't love my cat that much.
Well, I mean, honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Really, I ought to just leave this up the whole show.
This is just the theme of our whole show. How much we don't love our cats.
That's right. So are you sure you don't want to kill a couple cats at the end, maybe? A little just... How
about
walk off a ledge? Or leave it open? Just leave it open. Like, are they dead?
One cat. Can we get one cat?
Oh, you guessed the twist. It was
so Mother 48. Mother 48 will be Revenge of the Cats.
That's actually, in light of what the actual twist is, that is a very funny joke.
Casting call for other animals. I gotta wait for it to cycle through on my side here. It's I'll pay extra to cut mine off.
Oh man. I will not be responsible. I'm not your cat hitman.
It's my wife's cat.
Mother 48 is the cat assassin.
I love it. Oh, maybe they're people now. This is inevitable at this point.
Yes.
All right. We also have a casting call for other animals. So if you have a what? And anything?
Basically anything except a fish, I think.
Oh,
you get all kinds of animals.
List unicorn. If you have a unicorn and you want it in the book,
My Little Pony.
She'll staple the horn on there for it. It will work. Hitler had unicorns. A lot of people don't know this. He had unicorns and Pegasus. They were part of his army.
But you could very clearly see like the headband where the horn was held on. It was just a hairpiece in the
middle. It's on the wrong spot. What's going on here?
I know. It's just like coming out the side. Really weird.
If you got that hippopotamus for Christmas and you want it immortalized in print.
Yes.
And if your hippo looks different than any other hippo out there.
Yeah.
Is that a hippopotamus?
And so really what you're looking for is really anything except for a fish because
they can't run. They don't run very well.
I understand. So pot-bellied pig, squirrel.
What? Oh, sorry. I said squirrel.
Squirrel.
That was awesome. You do have like a very large prominent tree back there. There could live a squirrel.
There might be one in there.
Never know.
We had sugar gliders at one point.
Mouse? Anybody got a pet mouse? You want to?
That would work. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could put your Ninja Turtle in there. You have your all you gotta do is take a picture of a turtle, put a little headband on it.
To be fair, that's Eastman and Laird's turtle, but I'll take credit for it.
Yeah, it might be a bit anachronistic, but I'm sure I could find a way to get it.
I mean, they can run; they just can't run very fast. So.
Yeah, we just gotta dangle pizza in front of them.
Yeah.
Same with me.
Yeah. I mean, me too, honestly.
All right, and then we've got an inked single page for $90.
Yes. Oh, let's see.
Still
I got my page here. Same page, but in inks.
See, and that's what I was talking about. Her ink work is super awesome.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the depth. And look at all the texture and the wood and all that stuff. That's crazy. I would get so frustrated. I would just give up. That's why I'm not an artist. There you go.
Hey, it takes all kinds.
That's why you're a mechanic guy. You know,
yeah.
working with NASCAR.
Yeah, I do all that good stuff.
Hey, that's awesome. That's way more important than what I do, dude. Someone's got to fix cars.
It's still not as entertaining, really.
And those are the tiers that are left now. Inked single pages, they're $90 a piece. Now you get the page and you get the book, and the book is signed.
Yeah.
And you get the PDF download. You get your name in the book. Well, you get your name in the book on every tier, right?
Yes.
Except for like, here's $1.
Yeah.
So you'll get your name in the book, and
how many times can I get my name in the book?
I would imagine just once.
Oh,
I know
man.
you have one of those amended tiers where you came back and contacted me personally, like, can we add this, and this? And then
it's gonna get amended again because I got to have that Zach Howard cover now. It's gonna get amended one more time.
Yeah,
so just be ready.
I've got to amend
I'll be
mine
ready.
too. So, and I actually want to change my name, so I actually want to put Marvelous Comics in there. Not.
Well, there you go. Yeah, if you have like a business name, you can pledge twice. You get greedy. I don't know.
Oh, then you're like, here's me. Boom, baller.
Yeah.
2 times. Let's see. And that is it that's left. There is 33. There's 33 of the inked single pages left.
Did you see our buddy Captain Comics comment there? Can we do this, please? Can we pitch in?
Crap. I don't know if I can help you with that one. They also don't run very well. I think that's what it comes down to.
Well, they do the sideways.
Yeah.
We all know what Captain has.
Yeah.
That's a good buddy. He's a pretty good buddy.
Yeah, he's
actually, everybody in here is.
We do a lot of stuff with him.
Everybody in here is a really good friend to us. So
I mean, we've never caught the crabs or anything, but
no, we haven't been that close.
All right, keep digging that hole.
Let's see. So Campbell asks, "Can I get that page? The page that you
I don't know.
Can you pick a page? There, you kind of going to get into a.
It gets super complicated at that point. Fortunately, in my experience, a lot of people don't have really strong opinions about which page. Every now and then you will get, again, this is just based on one Kickstarter in the past. Every now and then you will get people who very specifically want a real specific page. I haven't run into that being a huge issue. Like, they'll contact me, and if I can get it to them, I will. Basically, I will accommodate you if I possibly can. But it gets super complicated if you're letting everyone pick out of 50 pages. Like, there's
especially
not really
when
mechanism for
you're
that.
not even going to see all the pages before the book's released.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you've seen all the pages,
14 pages in now.
Right. Because if you've seen the whole pages, then you've read the whole book.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah.
I would imagine those first 8 pages that I do have for free up on the Kickstarter, maybe people will be asking for those specifically because, like you say, they have actually seen them. But the other ones, yeah. A lot of you are going to get what you get. I'm putting my best work into all of them, so hopefully nothing to complain about there.
I would say the only way on that one that I would try to accommodate is if somebody had their pet in it and they're like, I'd like to get one that had my pet in it.
Right. If someone got both, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and if they got both, the page and put my pet in it.
Right.
Can I get one with a cameo of my pet? My little puppy.
Yeah. We'll see if that happens. That would be another amended tier. But yeah, again, I will definitely try to accommodate you if I possibly can.
Right. And I think that is. What are you laughing at?
Oh, Brent. Yeah, he's just throwing them out there.
Oh, just your brother. Yeah, just your brother.
Runs in the family, right?
All right. So there is 33 of the ink single pages left at 90. We've got 4 left for your rats, your bats, your hippopotamus, elephants, birds.
What they call exotic pets, which is just anything that's not a cat or a dog.
Or
all your exotics.
Yeah.
You can get your pony in there. You can get
a pony would be great if you had like a miniature horse or something. That would be fun.
Yeah, like a little pony.
Just about that big. The smallest imaginable horse.
Oh, and we've got 3 cats left. So any of you that love your cats enough to put them in a book.
Does anybody?
Any of you that don't hate your cats.
Yeah, or just, there are 23 penciled pages left.
Okay.
And those are at 35. That is a great deal for those.
Yeah. How do you pass that up?
I think my last Kickstarter, I didn't move a lot of penciled pages, so I brought the price point pretty far down on the pencils to try to move them this time.
35 for a penciled page is pretty insane right there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You should jump on that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to happen. So
and
hopefully from a few out here, and I know what's going to happen from me.
Trust me, you get in early on Clara's career, think about it. Boom.
Sky's the limit. Shit, you just ride her coattails straight up to the top.
All the way up.
I'll do my best.
It's a long coat.
All I got is my best.
I
just got a message from Zach that just says, "Hope the show went well." He's cheering for you guys.
Hey.
Well, he doesn't know what's still going on.
He doesn't.
Maybe for the next one, we'll have them both on there.
He could have jumped in the chat. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. He's drawing right now.
All right. And then we've got our Zach Howard exclusive and your book for 25, both signed. His is double signed. So that's pretty amazing. And his cover is going to be freaking awesome.
It's going to be amazing. He only does amazing covers.
So do you have any idea what his is going to look like?
I have some ideas that I have pitched to him. We're going to start talking about that more officially soon. I think it's going to be more feature more animals. That's something he's particularly good at is animals and fur texture. So I think we're going to lean into that. And who doesn't like, drawings of animals?
You mean drawings of dogs?
As long as it's not a cat.
Well,
it seems. It seems.
I can tell you one thing: it's not going to be a dead cat.
No dead animals in
Not on the cover.
No, for sure.
And $20, you're going to get thumbnails, which those are awesome too, and that's an awesome deal.
Stupid deal.
And you're still going to get the PDF downloads. You're going to get your name in the book, social media shout out on IG, and your signed print, a sheet of thumbnails, and it says 1 sheet of the original thumbnail designs for the comic, 2 designs per sheet, with design notes.
Yeah, so that's what I showed you earlier. Let me grab it.
People, jump on this Kickstarter.
Yeah, when you're laying out comics, you lay them out with the facing pages, so you know that they work together. So that's why you get 2 on a sheet. One person if they all go, one person is going to get just the first page and the last page, but everyone else is going to get just a complete sheet like this one.
Awesome. All right. So everybody out there, you guys know now where you can go and what we've got to do. So Clara needs to get to 9,000. That's her goal. We are at 6,289. So we've got 13 days left, and what is it, 2,700 to go. So
Let's do it.
I mean, it's climbed. I think when I checked yesterday, it hadn't cracked 6.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
So that's good. I mean, that's 300 a day.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep plugging away at it on the different shows we have and letting people know, hey, you need to go back this up. You need to get it back. And we'll keep hitting you up on IG as well. I think your project looks awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be awesome.
I hope so. I'm definitely putting my best effort into it. So all signs point to it turning out well. I really appreciate the support. Thank you for the push.
Let's see if anybody out there, does anybody have any questions for Clara before we kind of wrap everything up? Anybody got anything they want to know either about Mother 47, hopefully about Mother 47, or about anything else? Any projects maybe that you have coming up in the future or are you specifically Mother 47 right now?
I mean, right now I'm definitely focused on this project. I want to do another book with Elliott of Midnight Vista. We're tentatively planning on moving forward with a project together after Mother 47 and probably kickstarting that as well. Other than that, not a whole lot of other stuff. I'm helping Zach with some of his upcoming projects, but that won't be like, my authorship. That'll just be like assistant work. But that's already a big chunk of time right there. So That's a pretty far forecast. And that's the most I got on that one.
Somebody probably wants to know, but it hasn't asked, or I know I asked you when we talked earlier this week, what's your time frame, you think, on Mother 47?
I'm hoping around September to be wrapping this up. I put November as the delivery date just to give myself a good big cushion. But regardless, these things, no matter how well you plan, something always comes up. So I'm always going to be doing my best effort. I'm always going to be working as hard as I can. If other things come up that slow everything down, I just ask for your patience. There's only one of me. I'm doing the best I can. I very much want to get this done on time, and I'm going to put forth everything I can. So that's the most I can promise. I'm just a human.
And again, to anybody that hasn't ever seen Clara, her work or anything, follow her on Instagram, Monday Night Live. Watch her ink. You can tell she's putting her soul, her heart, everything into it. Do that. You'll be like, why am I not following this, backing this Kickstarter all the way? It's going to be awesome.
All right. So Campbell, we went through some of these things earlier. This was Devil's Red Bride. Mm-hmm. This was a double cover, and you said this was a store variant, correct?
Yes, this was the store exclusive variant for Brookings Comics in Brookings, South Dakota, and was also sponsored by Comics with Bueller, the YouTuber.
Midnight Vista is another title that she's worked on.
Mm-hmm. Alien abduction story.
The Conqueror Worm was her first Kickstarter.
Yes, that's an adaptation of the Poe poem. Oh, and I don't know if you know that necessarily that I do this. I do an annual sketchbook compilation, so I have these as well on my store Envy shop, Comics and Art by Clara Meath. And what I do
actually, we need to bring that up too, and that is Comics and Art by Clara Meath.
Yeah, I take my my daily studies and whatever like commissions and covers you wouldn't necessarily see otherwise, and I compile them in a floppy annually. And I've been doing this for 5 years now. You can get those on my online store, like we just said. And I'm usually pretty proud of these. This one went over really well. This one actually blew up. When I posted this on Instagram, it sold like, I had to get another print run of these. I forget even how many. It was amazing. You guys really went for it. So I was very honored by that. Yeah, it has like, the process work of the covers and stuff inside and other cover work, things like that. Face studies. Everything you do to keep teaching yourself, stuff like that.
So I just posted Comic-Con art in the chat, and that will take you straight to Clara's page on there, so you can take a look at some of her other penciled and inked pages.
Yes, that's my original art dealer.
Captain Canuck.
Comic-Con.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I inked. Let's see. What even year was that? I think that was like 2017, maybe. I inked a fill-in issue of Captain Canuck for Chapter House Comics.
We have a trivia show that we'll do along with our claim sales.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked one time who was the leader of Alpha Flight, and one of the answers I got was Captain Canuck, and I was like, "Come on, man, that's like kind of. I know they're Canadian, but yeah."
Right. That is his name.
Shadow Play, and you still got pages of Conqueror Worm on there, and actually,
yes, I do. Some of my favorites, actually.
Three pages of the Conqueror Worm are still on there, and Midnight Vista is still there.
Yes.
And then you've got Frankenstein. You've got, is that 3 different covers, or Frankenstein 3? The cover for Frankenstein 3.
Yes, it's Franklinstein.
Franklinstein. See, threw me off on that.
Sneaky.
Goosebumps number 5 cover.
We've got 2 kind of the same question. One from Brent and Brad. It says, Brent wanted to know favorite comic artist, and then Brad just said anybody that inspired your art.
Ooh, I have let's see. I think the people who have probably influenced me the most are Katsuhiro Otomo of Akira, Becky Cloonan, Gabriel Rodriguez, Zach Howard now quite a bit. You'll see me doing a lot of the things he does. Jeff Smith. What else do I have in here? Those are probably the main ones right now. But, every year or so they change, as they should. They update. You discover new artists. You reach points in your style where it updates to, you become able to be influenced by other styles that, weren't really accessible to you before. So that's always going to be changing. Yeah. But I would say those are the main ones right now.
Always evolving, or like you say, changing. So it's really cool. You keep learning.
Yeah, it's super important to keep learning.
I mean, my favorite artist, with you being a close second, my favorite artist, of course, is Dave Stevens. So,
nice. I get to be second. Wow, how special.
You're on the show. Like you said, everything's evolving and changing.
Exactly. I might not be that tomorrow, but I am today.
Take the win where you can get it.
Yeah, exactly. All the little wins.
And you do the con circuit, but mainly on the West Coast.
Or Midwest.
Or mainly in the Midwest right now. I'm in Sioux Falls right now. There's some really great shows in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. There's some I really love SuperCon here in Sioux Falls. It's in October this year. I'm doing at least one Denver show this year because that's where Zach is. So we're doing a show together in Denver.
John, we going? Let's go.
That's all I can think of right now. I know I have one day con in St. Paul this year. Yeah, post-COVID, everything's going to be, is a bit up in the air. So we'll get back into that process, and I'll have better answers for you further down the line. Aw, they're merging arms. Freakish.
So Midwest, I haven't been Midwest in a long time.
Ooh, yeah.
Have you ever made? Huh? We're both North Carolina.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which we have Heroes Con.
That's more my area.
When Heroes Con kicks back up next summer, not this summer.
Yeah.
It's a awesome show, and
I love Heroes Con.
We're gonna blow up and we're gonna fly you in. That's what we're gonna do. We put you up, we're gonna fly you in because you are awesome.
I'll have airline miles.
Ooh. Don't say that out loud. Come on.
It makes you such a target.
We got you. Don't worry. You and Zach.
We're in the street for your airline miles.
No, we don't have to get Zach. He can get his own.
He's a grown up. He has that real comic money.
anybody else have any questions for Clara? I don't want to hold her up. We've already had her an hour, and that's
she's probably got some work
a
to
long
do.
time. I mean, she's like half hour behind on her artwork now.
I don't want to kick her
I'm
out because
probably
she's
done for the
awesome.
night.
This has been a cool chat. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
First time.
I mean, the thank you is all mine. You guys are just doing this. You're helping me push my project. I really appreciate that. It's a real honor, and I've already got a couple of backers just from this conversation. So thank you. It's totally.
Damn. Awesome. Thank you, chat. There you go.
Yep. And by all means, anybody that can go and help her on her Kickstarter. On Kickstarter, it's Mother47.
Mm-hmm.
Do a search for Clara Meath. You can find her on IG as well, or you can find her on YouTube. There's actually some videos. You can see her be her valedictorian in college. It's about a 2-minute video. It's worth a watch.
It was a really fun video.
She had a lot more.
I had a lot more hair back then.
A lot more going up top back then. So
that was so professionally done too. Like they had a makeup artist do me up, and like I was styled for that and everything. Like we had to go to a specific location and film. They had a film crew. SCAD don't mess around. SCAD's got that art school money. Well, it's really got that fashion school money. That's a different conversation. But yeah, it was amazing. It was a film set where we did that. It was really fun.
Awesome. Well, any final thoughts? Any?
Just thank you so much, everybody. I'm so honored by all the support I've already gotten.
You're at 6387 right now.
It just climbed. Look at that.
Yeah, look at it go. Oh, you all are the best. I love it. Thank you so much.
All of our friends here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Comic community is a great community, and we're going to do everything we can to help you get to 9,000. So
thank you.
And above. We want that square bound book.
Yeah, let's get that. Let's hit those stretch goals.
How cool would that be?
That would be cool. That would be awesome. So everybody, be sure to check out Clara Meath. If you're not familiar with her work before, you are now.
Yeah.
So now you're vested. You know who she is. You know what she's done. You know what she looks like, and you want to back her. You want to back. Let me use my Professor X bald head. You want to back Clara Meath.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Oh boy!
And she knows Star Wars references. How can you not back Clara Meath right there?
Gotta hit all the nerd markets, right?
That's right. You gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Whoa,
look at this.
Well played.
All right. So everybody, please find a tier, big or small.
Yeah.
Back Clara Meath. She'll appreciate it. We'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we'll all get a great book in our hand come October, November, December, whenever she can get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, really, as long as it gets done, that's what really matters.
Oh, so, it'll get done.
Yeah.
This guy happy.
Yeah. Let this art come to life. So
thank you.
Can't wait.
We are super happy that we were able to have you here. And once the book comes out and we get it in hand, we'll go back and we'll find some people that are in the chat that backed, and we'll have them on so that we can have a discussion of Mother 47 with the mother herself at that point. So
that
sounds great.
If you'd be willing to come back, we'd love to have you back at that point.
Yeah. Let's do it again.
You heard it here, everybody. She agreed.
She promised.
I'll be back.
You got to say it deeper.
I'll be back.
There you go. See, Terminator reference. How can you not back her?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of before your time. I think Terminator was even...
Yes, and everyone knows it's impossible to watch movies that were made before your time.
Impossible.
I mean, I remember having to go rent the VHS player from the video store. That was like the big thing for my birthday is we rented a VCR.
Oh, man. Different times. My parents just got rid of their VCR, I think. Yeah.
Whew.
They got rid of their landline too.
Oh yeah, that's
mine
been
won't
gone.
give that up.
I haven't had cable in 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
The guy from New Mutants?
The brave new world.
But thank you, Clara, for coming, and we really appreciate it. Everybody out there,
On the heart.
support Clara. She needs your backing, and we will see you guys next Friday. Actually, I might have to do a pre-recorded for next Friday because I got something to do on Friday. But we will see you with a review next Friday at 8 o'clock. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Clara, for being with us. And good night.
Good night.